live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
This is so when you text me earlier, because guys, we the last couple of weeks we've had to do our production meeting, you know, right before the show and not like days before. And so when you text me earlier and said we got to have this KD Draymond conversation, I was like, oh yes, so we got to take something out and put that in.
Yeah.
And so I know that when I first saw that they were doing it, my first thought was, yo, this is cool. Like, one, you had heard that they kind of, you know, patched everything up, but
right.
to actually see them speaking, you know,
yeah,
was good to see.
Absolutely.
But after I saw it, I left away from watching that video feeling a way about what was said. But how did you feel about it?
So I didn't go as deep as you did. Okay. I didn't even try to analyze like whether I agreed or disagreed with what they were saying. I was just one, like you just said, very happy to see the two of them sit down. Two, I came away from it like I don't think I've ever seen. It's rare. I'm not gonna say ever. Rare to see athletes so transparent.
Yeah.
About and when I say transparent, because I know I know your issue with this is accountability. Right. But what I'm talking about transparency is to whether they're holding themselves accountable, whether they're right or they're wrong, it's their perspective.
Right.
And they were honest.
Yeah. In
sharing their right or wrong, right. They were honest in sharing their perspective, which you rarely get to see. Because we all too busy trying to be politically correct.
Right.
And we all too busy trying to just make sure that we keep everything. And even more so Draymond Green having such a transparent conversation, considering that you still have to go and work for the organization that you
right.
just pretty much threw under the bus. So,
right.
For those of you who don't know, so they pretty much had this conversation. It was a podcast. What is it called? I can't think of the name of it. Something with this hard with a C. I can't. It's in my head. But either way, they were on the podcast and pretty much talking about the issue that they had when they got into it. In it was a heated moment. Draymond, I don't know if you know, for those who are not sports people, Draymond Green is a fiery soul.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Very passionate dude. Truly leaves it all out on the floor. And I mean maybe too much sometimes, but he leaves it all out on the floor. And so they got into it because according to kind of Draymond's thought process at the moment, it felt like KD was gone already.
Yeah.
He had decided he wasn't staying. And so he was kind of half being there. The way I feel about how Kyle Shanahan was in the Super Bowl is exactly how Draymond Green felt about KD at that moment. And him being such a passionate dude, like it bothered him that he felt like he wasn't giving his all. And so they had a heated exchange to almost come to blows. You know, Boogie had to take Draymond this way.
To the side,
like, you know, so it was different. And so I think that they kind of in this conversation they talked about that, but they talked about the way that they felt like upper management and the coaching staff kind of did not help them mediate this situation. And it kind of, I feel like what they were trying to say is with them not mediating at the moment or in a timely enough fashion in their minds, it kind of divided the people in the locker room. You know what I mean? Either you're on KD's side or you're on Draymond's side, and it wasn't. Right. And so I feel like that was what they were hoping from the people who were around them. But you had a different perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so let me first say that the name of the show is Chips.
Chips. I knew it was something with a C. I just couldn't remember. Yeah.
I had to go look it up because I just knew it was on Bleacher Report. I didn't even know that the show had a name.
Yeah.
But so when I saw it, like I said, when I first saw it, my first thought was, oh, that's dope that they patched it up and everything. So when they got to the point of talking about what happened and how everything played out and who they blamed for it, I was like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. What it felt like was that Draymond just wasn't really taking accountability for what happened, right? Because I've been in plenty of locker rooms when stuff happens on the court, on the field, like coaches don't like hold a kumbaya meeting or, you know what I'm saying? Like that just doesn't happen. Yeah. And so the one thing that you may expect is for the players to police this situation. Like, hey, and they even said like Bob Myers and Steve Kerr sat Draymond in the
an hour and 45 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Like, hey, you gotta apologize.
Yeah.
And it was Draymond's pride that stopped him from apologizing. Because if you truly he was like, y'all don't get to tell
me how I do this.
Right. Like if you truly felt bad about it and thought like, yo, I went a bit too far, that conversation wouldn't even need to be had.
Right.
I've seen players fist fight. Now, this was just a verbal argument. Right. I've seen players fist fight.
Right.
Like, and I'm talking about in the locker room, not like in practice.
On the field. Like
folks are swinging their helmets.
Heat of the moment. Right.
Right. Yeah. And the coaches don't address it. The coaches don't pull anybody to the side. We as players may say like, hey man, listen, we all teammates.
Right.
Like, squash this so we can get to the business of winning the championship.
Yeah. Thank you. Right.
And so I just thought I didn't like the fact that they blamed Bob Myers. And to your point, Draymond, that man still signing your checks. like what are you doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Are you feeling indispensable? Like, what do you want to be traded and you just don't want to say it? Like, is that what's happening?
That can't be it. Did
you and Katie have a side conversation? He's like, you can come to Jersey.
On to Brooklyn.
Like, what is it?
You know what? That would be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That would be crazy. Now, I'm gonna tell you what may happen.
What may happen?
What may happen to your point is Draymond may get traded. Yeah. Because you know the organization right now keeps leaking information about the fact that they want Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. And Ben Simmons and Draymond Green are the same player. Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. They're facilitators who
He's just not as passionate as Draymond. No. But that's his knock. Right. If you want to be truthful, that's his knock. He's not fiery enough. He's a
and they
kind of laid back player, but
the organization
might work for them.
Yeah. The organization is kind of split on pulling a move for him, because I think when Philly kind of pitched the idea, they said that they wanted their 2 lottery picks this year. The kid Wiseman, who they drafted last year, and I can't think of the player's name. They got him from the Timberwolves. They traded for him from the Timberwolves. I cannot think of his name right now. But they wanted all of that in the package. Mm-hmm. And the Warriors aren't stupid. They were like, no, Ben Simmons isn't worth all of that.
Right.
Now, I could see them saying, okay, well, give us Draymond, Wiseman. And
I like Wiseman. I want him to stick around. I think he'll be good for that.
Well, and that was the point I was trying to make, because Draymond actually came out and made a statement about, you don't win championships with young players. Mm. So we need to trade and get, some depth, and they have the pieces to do it.
I was gonna say they just got Iguodala back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, you said they needed a veteran. He veteran enough.
Yeah, he's super veteran.
Not super veteran. Oh gosh.
No, but after looking at him in Miami, I think that his game now is probably built more for like LA Fitness. Why did I say that? Why did I say
I'm
that?
just be quiet. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh,
Andre Iguodala.
That was a punch.
If you ever hear this, I was just attempting to be funny. I know that you can still play. I know you still have game.
Yeah, he was just being funny.
I was just being funny, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord. Not LA Fitness. Okay. Goodness. All right.
I'm going to search for this clip, and I'm going to put it on IG. And I'm
that'll get some attention. You want some attention? That'll get some attention.
No, because I want him to hear the apology.
Okay, the whole thing, right? Like the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna just put that clip on there. I'm gonna put the entire thing.
But I love Iguodala. I mean, I just
Well, but before he got traded to, before he went to Memphis. He got traded to Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Before he got traded to Memphis, I was hoping that he was gonna get a buyout and go to the Lakers.
Okay.
But he obviously ended up going to Miami.
Right.
And I don't know if it was just that they didn't use him correctly or, but he didn't make the splash there that I assumed that he
But I don't think he was happy either.
He probably wasn't. He
wasn't happy. Like you'll see, I think he'll be different because that's where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
That's the vibe, the energy, the people that he wanted to be around.
Yeah.
And I feel like you'll see him kind of, clearly he's, what you call him, very veteran?
Very veteran.
He is a very veteran player.
Super veteran.
Super veteran, that's right. He's a super veteran player, but he still got a little juice in the tank. And he'll give them what they need from him, which is what he was doing when he was there before.
Yeah.
He will. He'll give them what they need.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Draymond, I don't know what you're doing, boo. I hope it works well for you. Mm-hmm. This was interesting. KD, you're my boy. I will just say kudos to you all for your transparency. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm gonna stick with, okay?
Yeah.
Kudos for the transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Now this was interesting.
You think?
South Carolina.
Speaking of
super veterans. South Carolina is suiting up a graduate assistant coach at QB because they're thin on the depth chart. I've seen teams be thin in certain areas, maybe at defensive back, maybe at defensive line, maybe at offensive line. I've never seen a team be so thin at quarterback. I am lying. Oh, wow. How did I forget that? Okay, so, excuse me. I've actually seen this before. So,
really?
Yes, my college coach. Shout out to Coach Petty. I've seen his son grow up from being the little kid running around our practices with no shoes on to being a grown man. But around 2012, when he got to college, he played football in Maryland. And then he went to the University of Maryland and he was recruited as a linebacker, but he was a high school quarterback.
Okay.
They recruited him to play outside linebacker. They had maybe 5 quarterbacks on their roster that year. And almost all of them, I would say at least 4 of them went down with knee injuries.
Oh, wow.
And it was so bad, I think they ended up changing.
Some mojo going on.
Yeah, they ended up changing the field at Maryland because of that.
Wow.
So, because at the time, and I believe he was going to redshirt. I don't think he was going to play that year. But they pulled his red shirt and he had to start at quarterback as a linebacker. Now, he did play some quarterback before, so he had experience. But
yeah, but this still ain't the same.
No, it's not the same because
this is a grad assistant. We're not
yeah.
talking about somebody who play on the team who might be able to just switch position. We're talking about somebody who doesn't play at all, who's a grad assistant. So and you are now being asked to become a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, so what I'm assuming is, you know, these graduate assistant positions are just former football players. Who,
he played at some point, but at some point.
Right. And he probably, I don't know the entire story about this, but he probably just graduated.
Right.
So as a grad assistant, he probably just graduated.
5th or 6th year, and yeah.
At the big schools, he may have graduated from South Carolina.
Probably. For them to feel comfortable to do that.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So there had to be some comfortability there. Now, the thing I want to know is,
come on. What's wrong that y'all ain't recruiting quarterbacks?
Well, so yes, but given the story that I just told, are they just losing quarterbacks to injury and that's why they're so thin?
No, because not the way I read it. Mm-mm.
No, okay.
No, they literally just have not. From the way that I read it, I'm not sure, but the way that I read it, they just have not recruited quarterbacks.
Somebody got to be fired then. No, I know some. Like, how does that happen?
I don't know, because there's plenty of high school students out here who could come into your program.
Now, when you start talking about your SEC dominance, I'm gonna bring this up, okay?
Okay. No, listen. This is a blemish.
Yeah.
This is a blemish, okay? Because I don't understand.
Yeah, this is
Either somebody, like you said, that somebody needs to be fired because they're doing a horrible job, or they might need to do like Maryland if it is the case that you just have had decimated yourself at injury at that position. You need to do something about your field. It's something, but either way, somebody needs to, again, here we go with accountability. Somebody needs to be held accountable because this kid should not be having to suit up.
Yeah.
Unless he just wants to, like, what? But if he wanted to, he could have just opted to play. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So it's just, this story is all shaky, all sides. That's all I can say.
I need some more context because this I just can't imagine that you just did not recruit enough quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, how's that? You got people walking around campus who probably played, high school football, who would want to walk on that could play quarterback.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You should have done what movie was that? I can't remember the movie right now. Where they didn't have a quarterback, or their quarterbacks got hurt and they just had tryouts for the whole school. I can't remember what movie it was, but either way, they had tryouts. Like, this is some real life story how somebody got into playing college football or something because they had all of these tryouts and everybody was able to, they were just desperately looking for a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And so, so we'll see. It's very interesting. That's all I can say.
All right. Now I know that you were glad to hear this news a little bit. Just the first part, not the second part. The first.
Yeah.
Part.
Yes.
But the first part, that the Falcons are the first team to be 100% vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I think that that includes staff and
everybody
100% vaccination.
That's brotherhood to me. Right? Like I'm
Let's
saying,
all protect each other.
Whether I want it or not, it's just best for me to do this because we all just need to be as safe as possible. Let me just do what I can do. And so I love that that's their premises. I don't know if they still use it. That was kind of Dan Quinn's thing, but brotherhood. And I feel like they still operate in that mode and that vibe. So I love this.
Yeah.
That's family, right? We're going to take care of each other.
Definitely love the first part.
Yeah, love that part.
Now the second part.
In the second part. questioning the second part because people tripping on this.
Yeah.
I don't know, like they act like people who vaccinated don't get sick. I don't understand.
Well, so now they feel like because everybody's vaccinated, we can all walk around the facility without masks. I don't think we even need to ask, is this smart?
This is not smart. And the reason it's not, it would be smart. Here's how this would be smart. It's the bubble premise that they use for the NBA.
Yes.
If all of y'all were just gonna all just be around each other all day, every day, then okay. But you leave a facility, all of y'all leave a facility, and you go be around family, friends. Now you're vaccinated, so you're feeling yourself. Now you're around family, friends, ain't masking up, doing nothing. You out here just willy-nilly. Well, CDC's already said that what's happening is people who even are vaccinated can still be carriers of the virus.
Right.
And so I know that the number is like 95, 97% of the people who are being hospitalized at this point are unvaccinated, but that means it's 3 to 5% of people who are vaccinated who are still suffering. If you said it was 100% unvaccinated people in the hospital, it would still be a problem for me because you can be around somebody who is positive and take it to somebody else who's unvaccinated. Oh, right. It doesn't have to be at the facility. So, I am very proud of them for their effort. Mm-hmm. But the whole idea of saying now we can just be free up in here. Everybody just do what you do. Nobody got to wear a mask. What is that?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in that part.
Yeah.
Because I work in health, mind you, I know it's healthcare, but even as a vaccinated person, I have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I still got to wear a mask.
Right.
So I can't just be willy-nilly. I can't. So it's just, So no, this is not smart. Happy for them, proud of them. This not ain't smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, RZIM is being sued by Raiders tight end Derrick Carrier over the misuse of funds. So he and his wife had donated over $30,000 to the ministry, and the founder of the ministry was found guilty of the misuse of power and funds.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that I think he probably, could have just been like, well, forget it. I don't want to come after them for this money. But I love the fact that he's accountable. Like, we're gonna hold you accountable.
Yeah. I mean, even though I think the person that misused the funds, I think he passed away.
Okay.
But nonetheless, this still happened in this ministry.
Right.
And so he is making sure that they are being held accountable for, again, this is the accountability. Listen, I don't know what you're going to title this one, but accountability got to be in there somewhere because it's the third time.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about accountability today. But he's holding them accountable to their to the actions or lack thereof. When it comes to this, because somebody needed to be a watchdog over the person who's supposed to be the leader.
Right.
Even that's why you have boards, even for ministry. People who check each other. You got to get checked just like anybody else. Mm-hmm. So I applaud him because I know he probably got a lot of backlash for people always talk about it. You're an Indian giver and all this kind of whatever. No, y'all, you gonna misuse and misrepresent my money. Right. Then I want it back.
And it doesn't matter if he's not here anymore.
No,
he misused the money.
He misused my money, and I want it back. So I'll be curious to see how this ends up. He is absolutely, I feel, in his rights to ask for his money back. because I gave it the premise that you were going to do X, Y, and Z with it, and that's not what happened. Therefore, it is a breach of contract.
Right.
So even listen, I know we get all religious and stuff because I don't do religion. I'm spiritual because religion. Anyway, we won't go there.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's a whole podcast in and of itself.
But I feel like we try to give excuses because listen, and I got a problem with that because don't do anything wrong in the name of Jesus Christ, okay? You just don't get to. No.
Yeah. I think there's a special section of
H double hockey stick.
Yeah, it's a special section for people like
VIP.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look, you said that, and my visual was somebody having a table at the club.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I said it. That good. That's you got where I was going. Y'all got a whole closed up.
A whole section right there at the club.
Right here, just for you.
Man.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I just feel like it's it too often you use the crutch of religion or Jesus to be your reason for doing something that's wrong and why you shouldn't be called out on it, and that's wrong. No.
Right. Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. I could really go on about. I mean, we talk about Catholic, all that, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
That I just when I hear stuff like that where someone is, misusing funds and using God to,
I'm afraid for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I fear for you.
Right.
I do. Because I don't know how, listen, you got bigger kahunas than I would ever have. There's never, ever, no.
Oh, here talking about, I'm going to steal his money in Jesus' name.
The fear of God is in me, okay? Yeah, no, thank you. Y'all got that. So, I don't know. I don't know if his flock is gonna see him when they get to glory. I don't know, because he might be in that VIP section. I'm just saying. I ain't putting it on him. I'm just saying, y'all. I don't know.
Let's pray that he repented before.
That's not. I don't listen. That's scary to me. So.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but yes, kudos to you, Mr. Carrier, because he used to play for your team.
Oh yeah.
So kudos to him for going after what was misappropriated.
Right. All right.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.